Hello there, people of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. Right off the bat, let me just go ahead and say this right now. This is not going to be a scientific test of any real caliber. This is more or less going to be an opinionated test based off of what I personally enjoy and what I personally think is the better platform or better option for whatever it is that you're currently doing. Now, as is the case with every event, depending on what it is that you're trying to do, that specific job right there will determine what kind of tool you use. This is basically going to be as universal of a test as I can possibly make it. But at the same time, like I said, it's more so opinionated than it is scientific. Let me go ahead and show off the two firearms that I'll be showing for this test. I will be comparing a pump-action shotgun to a bolt-action shotgun. There's going to be some speculation as to how fair the test is, and I'll go ahead and elaborate on what I've done to try and make the test as fair as possible. Let me show off the firearms. This right here is a Maverick 88 12-gauge shotgun. Now, before I get flack on the fact that this shotgun is, spray painted green, go ahead and check the link in the description and you're going to see the video on why this is spray painted green. You're going to learn what sort of horrible life this shotgun has had, because man, she's had a hard life. But that is a Maverick 88 12-gauge shotgun, and this right here is a JC Higgins 583 12-gauge shotgun. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Do you have anything else you'd like to add? Okay then. Now, full disclaimer right now, the JC Higgins has a very infamous rumor going on that the locking lug on the receiver will actually shear off. A lot of people blame this bolt right here, this little retaining screw, but all that does is stop the bolt from being pulled out whenever you cycle it. If you're firing the rifle, or if you're firing the shotgun with the bolt closed, the bolt is locked in place and will not go anywhere, whether this retaining screw is here or not. I've actually ran a test to see how accurate that claim is, and sure enough, without the retaining screw in place, the bolt stayed locked in the receiver. That being said, the only thing that could happen is the receiver could possibly shear off right here, thus letting the bolt fly back into the shooter's face upon firing. With that nasty rumor going around, although the shotgun could, more than handle buckshot or slugs, I myself only run birdshot through it, only because I don't want to risk putting that rumor up to par. Should that rumor turn out to be true, I'll get one hell of a black eye, and I'm not willing to run that kind of test, especially because I don't want to destroy my bolt-action shotgun. Now, since I can only run birdshot through this, I chose to use this specific shotgun right here for a very good reason. This shotgun has a lot of very severe water damage. You cannot see it because of the paint, but believe me, it's got very severe water damage. As a result, just to play it safe, I only run birdshot through the shotgun. I will not run buckshot or slugs through this as well. So although both these shotguns could more than likely handle it, I still want to play it safe for both of them, so I only run birdshot through both of these shotguns. So in this particular case, the capability of what these shotguns can handle is the same in my eyes. Okay, next up. One thing that the pump-action shotgun definitely has over the bolt-action shotgun is how common it is, especially the 88A model and the Mossberg 500 model. Very common models. You can find them basically at any outdoor shop, any you can find them all over. All right, you can find them anywhere. You can even find these in stores and communities that are anti-gun. That is how common this pump-action shotgun model is. That and the Remington 870, but that's a different type of a shotgun pump model, so we're not going to discuss it. As far as universability, meaning how common it is, the pump action definitely has it. I know that's not a very scientific explanation, but as a military surplus user, I run bolt action rifles all the time. So the bolt action cycle, the bolt action operation is very familiar to me. Far more familiar to me than it is the pump action. I can run a bolt action rifle a lot faster than I can run a pump action. A lot of military surplus, especially 8mm Mauser, if you want to get yourself any sort of reliable ammunition, can be quite expensive. However, Walmart still sells a 12-gauge birdshot for really, really cheap, and that's pretty much all I run through this thing all the time. It's an excellent alternative for being able to run a bolt action system at a low budget. Now, one thing I will say, at least in terms of these particular models, reload speed. In order to reload the pump action shotgun, it's actually quite simple to reload. Whether the bolt is open or closed, you can funnel rounds right into the tube with, no problems whatsoever. You want to load one right into the chamber, you pop one right into the side of the ejection port, and you're good to go. You just close your bolt and you're running your shotgun again. However, the bolt action shotgun can be a little trickier, only because if you don't line up your rounds perfectly, they can jam up pretty easily. This is a problem that I definitely have with this bolt action shotgun. Other than that, if you want to load one into the chamber, just like with the pump action, you throw one into the ejection port, you're good to go. One thing that the pump action definitely has over the bolt action is the ease of disassembly. The pump action shotgun, you can field strip that thing in a heartbeat with no issues whatsoever. Another thing that the pump action has over the bolt action is the ease of removal or installation of the shotgun plug to restrict the number of rounds you have in that shotgun for, say, hunting purposes. Each of these particular shotguns only has bead sights on it, so they're about equal for that aspect. Now, simply due to its massive universality, meaning you can find parts, pieces, etc., basically anywhere for the pump action shotgun, be it Maverick, Remington, Mossberg, whatever it is, pump action definitely hasing up on that. The ease of reload hasing up on that. The ease of disassembly hasing up on that. If you get yourself a good one, a new one, one that is not questionable like the one I have out here currently is, then you can fire slugs, you can fire high brass, buckshot, whatever it is that you want to fire from it, whereas even a new production bolt action shotgun, or in this particular case the J.C. Higgins 583, it might be questionable. You never know if you're going to have a bolt fly back into your face because you shear off the piece of your receiver. Now, it's all luck of the draw whenever it comes to how good your bolt action shotgun is. Some of them are great, some of them are not so much. There's people out there that will swear up and down, left and right, that they will put their life, liberty, and happiness into their shotgun. They will put all of their faith into that bolt action J.C. Higgins 12 gauge because they've done it before. That's fantastic. The heat treat on that particular receiver must be pretty good to be able to withstand those high brass buckshot and slugs. Though that's not the case with every firearm, as a result, I do not want to push the limits of this particular shotgun. I'm sure it'd be fine because it's still around, but I'm not going to risk it. With that being the case, that gives the pump action shotguns, at least this particular model, a one-up on the J.C. Higgins model. One thing that I do want to say about the J.C. Higgins model, one thing that does greatly restrict me from cycling very, very quickly like I also enjoy doing, is the fact that the bolt handle actually turns while it's on the outside of the gun. If you turn your bolt handle, you cannot close your bolts. Another thing that greatly slowed me down was while I was having issues with this turning bolt, I somehow managed to click on the safety on this thing. So I was not able to get a round off because the safety was on. That did slow me down a little bit. Now, although I am pretty decent with a bolt action gun, because of those two major flaws right there, I am slowed down quite a bit with this J.C. Higgins, like compared to my Car 98 if I were to be running that as fast as I could, or any other bolt action platform. Maybe not the Mosin Nagant or Nagant or however it is you want to pronounce that, as that right there, the bolt tends to be a little more squeamish on those, tends to lock up a bit more than it does the Mauser models. Especially if you get yourself a war-torn Mosin that has seen some stuff and has not gotten through the refurbishment process. Now, any of my military surplus brethren out there know good and damn well that firing a bolt-action rifle as fast as you can is the greatest experience you'll ever have. However, a very close second is actually filling said bolt-action rifle with rounds from a stripper clip. Pushing rounds from a stripper clip into a fixed magazine inside of a rifle is one of the greatest feelings, and you will not know the feeling unless you actually go about doing so. Half the fun of military surplus bolt-action rifles is loading said rifles, and there's basically no fun whenever it comes to loading this bolt-action shotgun, especially with how tedious the alignment of said rounds are, and if you get it wrong, you can really mess things up. Alright, out of all the deliberation, I'd say the pump-action shotgun, in my opinion, is likely the more superior system whenever it comes to operations of cycling. Now, do I still love the bolt-action shotgun? Hell yes, I do. Against all better judgment, is the bolt-action shotgun still my favorite? Yes, it is, simply because I like bolt actions better than pump actions. But if we're looking at all of the other facts and not just basing off of opinion, the pump action is definitely the superior action. Now, don't get me wrong. I also love the pump action shotgun. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the system. I'm not going and saying there's anything wrong with the system. I'm just saying that I myself prefer bolt action systems. However, preference does not always mean one thing is better than the other. Of course, the beauty about having both a pump action and a bolt action shotgun is I don't have to choose which the better system is. Now, if I did have to choose and I had to go in for some sort of home defense system, the pump action would probably be the way to go, especially because this particular one is nice and short compared to my much larger bolt action JC Higgins. Okay, well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe down below because I do this kind of stuff all the time. If you have any suggestions for videos you might want to see in the future, by all means, let me know down in the comments below. Check out the Patreon page. I've started doing Q&As on the Patreon page. Really interesting stuff there. If you want to help spread this video, go ahead and give me a like down below. Now, that being said, I have a gun room that I have to go set up. So I'm going to go take care of that. You guys go off. Have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching.